We're on the list of rescue divers.
It's just a tourist cove.
It looks easy, but when it's flooded, it's impassable.
Colin, how are you doing?
I'm good, Rory. How are you, man? What's I've been talking to some folks from London and they're saying they're throwing out figures like 40 degrees. What's the temperature at home today?
Well, actually, it was 33
chilly
yesterday.
34?
Yeah, just the low mid 30s. I'm actually over in London now. This is a London hotel room because this is like junket season. So
I do see a bit of a sheen on the old forehead there.
Yeah, this is not good lighting. This is not good lighting. So
take that top light and push it to the side. I get some powder.
This is hotel room lighting. So we go to war with the army we have.
Yeah.
Colin, 13 lives. I mean this as an absolute compliment. I hated watching this film because
backhanded compliments. We love backhanded compliments.
It was a combination of so many of my fears. Or it's like claustrophobia, check. Lots of darkness,
check.
Underwater, like deep water. Just everything about it was like. I think from about 20 minutes in till the end, I just did not.
Did you really felt anxious? Yeah.
For the whole lot of it, because one of the scariest films I've ever seen was The Descent, which again, even before it went to hell, it was just clicking. That was the one where all the ladies go cave diving.
Oh yeah. I did see that. Yeah.
So it's
that was terrifying. That was the wrong thing to watch before I headed up today as well. I wasn't comfortable doing it, Rory. No, I really wasn't. I'm not a great swimmer. I can just about make believe in a swimming pool, like I wouldn't say a length, I'll do a width and make it look like I know what I'm doing, but that's more because I'm a spoofer than anything else. But you drop me in the ocean. I've done a bit of scuba diving in the ocean, which actually isn't as scary as I thought it was going to be a few years ago when I did it, because you do a little thing in a swimming pool and you learn how to breathe, and it's in 20 feet and it's clear and you can see the surface of the water and the sunlight. It's all lovely. But going into these caves that they built for the film, now they weren't the real cave. I want to be clear that I'm not saying we approximated anything close to what the lads went through in 2018, but I'm an actor. I'm not a big fan of water. If you drop me 250 yards from the shoreline, I'm not making it back. I can't swim that well. So to be dropped in the caves and have to do it every day with 5 or 6 other actors, with 2 or 3 cameramen, with electrical cables everywhere, getting caught up on things with a ceiling over your head. I was brown scuba trousers. Brown scuba suit.
Adding to the murkiness of the cave.
Yes, indeed. Visibility was particularly bad when I was working. You did not want to be behind me as I crop dusted my way through cave number 3.
Was like, Colin's gone last. Who's in front of Colin?
There's a flare. No, it's not. It's Colin's arse. Listen, it really was. And by the end, Rory, I was really relieved when we finished the film and nobody had been injured. Yeah, I really was. And I asked one of the divers, we had loads of safety divers, by the way, and we had extra eyes on us at all times and stuff. And we were drilled the right things to do over and over again. We really had an amazing team. But I asked one of the safety divers one day, and we were shooting the shit in the water, because we spent like 40 or 50% of the whole film in the water, in between takes, chatting and stuff. And I remember asking one of the divers, so of all the films you did, and this diver had done like 15 or 20 films, underwater stunts and stuff. I said, what's the most dangerous film? As soon as I asked it, I fucking knew I made a mistake. And the diver literally went, this one. And I said, really? And they went, yeah. They said, there's a part of the tunnel, there's a few parts where we leave looking you so that we can pick you up at the next. If something happens in that moment, we might be in a bit of trouble. And I was like, God, that was week 3. We had like 6 weeks left. I was going, fuck. So yeah, it was a lot to it.
Listen, it all worked out because the film is fantastic. And as I was doing a little bit of research on this, I read a thing that said it was the best reviewed, is not the right word, but best received movie in MGM history.
Yes.
And then I was looking at your year. So like 2022, from our perspective, was The Batman, After Yang, this, and then The Banshees of Inisherin later this year. That is an incredible year, first of all. And in the middle of it, you've got this film. Do
Yeah.
you pay attention much to when people are talking about how fantastic your stuff is? Or are you like, that's nice,
No.
but I distance myself? And when you hear little pitter patter about potential Oscar-y stuff,
No, don't. I definitely don't. You tend to, some of us might tend to believe the negative shit sooner than we believe the positive, honest to God. And that's as a result of various things, including conditioning.
being Irish.
Being Irish. Being a pessimist by nature and nurture. Fuck. Double choke. But no, I'm aware that like the last 2 years, I've been fortunate enough to do a couple of jobs, to put it as simply as possible, that I actually really loved, that I loved on the page. And I also, with directors like the ones you mentioned, Matt Reeves, Kogonada, Ron Howard, and Martin McDonagh. I mean, those are 4 extraordinary directors and filmmakers on films that for different reasons had elements that I was incredibly excited about. The reason I was incredibly excited about this was because the humanistic element to it, how it was a real story, what they achieved was unimaginable and yet came to be, how the world came together in those 2 or 3 weeks in 2018. And then to have Ron at the helm. Martin McDonagh, I just love Martin, and I love Brendan, and that script was extraordinary. Kogonada, that was such an unusual, otherworldly, gentle, whispered kind of mood piece that I loved. And then the Batman was just madness. Just I'd never done the prosthetic stuff. So I just feel like the last 2 years I've been a child in a sandbox with really fun toys. Honest to God, man. So I've had a couple of people that have said to me something similar to what you just said. So I acknowledge it and I'm grateful for it. And I realize my personal version of experiencing what you just said is that I've really, without hesitation, enjoyed the work in the last few years more than I can ever remember, I suppose.
That's fantastic.
Yes,
And
cool. That is.
Oh, it's
Because I'll go to work for the money as well, just for the paycheck. I mean, there's been times where I've gone to work, just that's what you do. You go to work for, sometimes, and sometimes you don't love what you're doing, but Jesus, what a tough life that is. So when you're spoiled like I've been for the last few years, where I've actually really like cleanly connected with everything I've done, and I don't expect that to be that way forever, but it's been fun, man. Yeah, more fun than usual.
I mean, you never know. And it'll be a few more months and I'll be talking to you again for Banshees anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll pick this up again.
Yeah, man. We'll pick up where we left off, as we always do.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Colin.
Thanks, Rory. All the best, pal.
We do nothing, we'll be bringing them out dead for sure.
So you are expecting casualties?
Yes, I expect casualties.
John, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just give me a minute. Please.
Okay.
We can make it.